You may be using the wrong version of the right telescope accessory. That small difference can make your setup less comfortable, less accurate, and less fulfilling than it should be. The real upgrade is choosing the tool that solves the problem you actually have. After 15 years in this hobby, here are 4 times I would choose this, not that. Color filters like these are often packaged with beginner's eyepiece kits and sold as an essential that you have to have for observing. They screw into the bottom of an eyepiece and they work by filtering certain colors of light, certain wavelengths, and making planetary details like the bands of Jupiter or the Great Red Spot or the polar ice caps on Mars more or less prominent depending on what color filter you're using. The problem is that they tint the entire image that you're looking at. No one really wants to see a blue Jupiter or a red Venus. And while they do work to pull out subtle and unique planetary details, I find that the natural color of the planets is much more pleasing. In fact, it's probably been 10 years since I've taken these color filters out of their cases. These really aren't all that helpful at public programs because people want to see the natural color of the objects that they're looking at. To enhance your planetary or lunar views, I'd recommend a polarizing filter or something like this variable polarizing filter, which has 2 stacked on top of each other and can dial up and down the amount of the effect that you get. Polarizing filters are almost like sunglasses and they cut back on the glare that you get from bright objects. So if you're looking at the moon, it makes it much more comfortable and pleasing to look at. But on bright planets like Jupiter or Saturn, it helps cut back the glare, and I find that the subtle details like the color banding or cloud patterns on Jupiter pop a little bit more because you're dialing back some of that brightness. The caveat is that colored filters do have a legitimate use for isolating specific planetary details. I just find myself almost never reaching for them. But what if the real problem is not the view itself, but how uncomfortable it is to look through the eyepiece? Take a look at the eye lens on this 10mm Plössl and compare it to the eye lens on this 20mm Plössl. You can see this is much smaller and it's much less comfortable to use. Shorter the focal length of an eyepiece, the less eye relief, or how close your eye needs to get for you to form an image is. And so short focal length eyepieces tend to be much less comfortable to use. This is a 2x Barlow lens and it functions by inserting another eyepiece into it, and being 2x, it will effectively make this 20mm focal length Plössl function as a 10mm Plössl. The problem is Barlows are often used to chase additional magnification, and people will frequently use them to push their telescope beyond its reasonable means of magnification. A much better use of a Barlow is to preserve eye relief. When I insert this 20mm eyepiece into this 2x Barlow, it effectively functions as a 10mm eyepiece, but you could see I still have this large eye lens to look through, and the Barlow actually preserves the eye relief of the 20mm eyepiece. If I had to pick between a 10mm eyepiece like this one and a 20mm and a 2x Barlow, I'll pick this combination every time. It's much more comfortable to use. A bonus is that this will work with all of your 1 1/4 eyepieces, but for me personally, I only like to use that combination with simple eyepieces like these Plössls here. When it comes to premium eyepieces like this 31mm and 22mm Nagler, this already weighs several pounds. Adding a Barlow onto this is not really practical. It just gets too darn heavy. A comfortable eyepiece only solves the problem from the neck up, and using a telescope is a full body experience. One this not that accessory that I absolutely can't live without is my adjustable observing chair. These chairs easily move up and down and are very stable platforms. What's really nice about them is with how quickly they adjust. I can sit here, take a look at my telescope, and if I want to point something higher, now it's not as comfortable. I can easily and quickly slide the seat down and be in position to look for several more minutes. A seat like this can transform from being like a stool to something that just keeps your rear end off the ground in a couple of seconds. It's way more comfortable than kneeling, I can promise you that. A common folding chair like this one might help when my telescope is pointed straight up, but as soon as I drop it a little bit, you can see it quickly becomes useless. Now you may say, why invest in an adjustable chair when you can just stand up? There are a lot of benefits to observing while you're seated. Specifically, besides less accumulated fatigue, it gives you a much more stable view at the eyepiece and lets you focus on the faint fuzzies that you're trying to tease out. Hey there, what's your favorite thing to look for in the night sky? Of course, comfort isn't worth much when the telescope can't get the object you want to see into view. I regularly hear people complaining that their go-to scopes aren't that accurate, and the first question I always ask them are you using a reticle eyepiece? Their answer is usually no. The problem here is that go-to scopes require you to center an alignment star in the middle of a field of view of an eyepiece, and that is much harder to judge than you'd expect. These small errors are cumulative and compound to decrease the overall accuracy of your alignment. These are both 20mm eyepieces, but as you can see, this one has this module on the side that has a dimming illuminated reticle. When you look through the eyepiece, there is a crosshair inside that lights up red when you turn this on. By using one of these, you can center your alignment star into the field of view very precisely, repeatably, every single time, and you'll find that the accuracy of your go-tos increases dramatically. A pro tip here is to slightly defocus your telescope so that the stars aren't just points of light, but spread out a little bit into a circle. You can then align that circle into the center reticle of this so that it fills up the entire space and will really increase the accuracy of your alignments. Watch this video next, and if you haven't yet, click the subscribe button. Tell me what your biggest this, not that accessory is in the comments. And if you want to support the channel while getting early access and behind the scenes content, you can join me on Patreon. Until next time, fellow Voyagers, never stop exploring.